How long have you been gone for on this occasion?
3 weeks.
At Sydney Airport, Australian Border Force officers have pulled aside this passenger to question him about his frequent trips to South America. He says it's to visit his girlfriend and young son who live in Chile.
Righto, so you're an Australian resident, you've been living here for
Permanent resident. I've been here
time.
45 years.
45 years?
I'm 47.
You don't have an Australian passport?
No.
Let's have a look for your bags.
He's travelling on a Greek passport, which indicates that after only one night in Chile, he travelled to Bolivia, and officers want to know why.
Before I got to Chile, I got a phone call from the missus. Her mum had a heart attack.
Mate, it's not good.
No, well, her mum lives in Bolivia, so...
You met her in Chile, then you both went to Bolivia.
Yes.
And the child?
Yeah, of course.
And with the child. Okay.
We stayed there until the mum got better, about 10, 11 days. Then we come back to Chile for 10, 11 days.
Okay. Geez, that's unfortunate, mate.
No, it is, mate. It is. But she didn't die, that's the main thing, or else I would have been held.
Yep. Okay. It's good to hear.
No, it is.
Did you have a wallet?
Actually, I lost it the first day I was there.
You lost your wallet? Oh, mate, this turned out to be a pretty unlucky trip.
It was.
So what ID did you use over there?
I had just a passport.
Just use your passport. What about credit cards?
No, didn't have bank cards. I got money sent through Western Union to get me through.
Okay.
So
You went over there with
nothing.
with your wallet.
With my wallet. Yeah.
You lost that. How'd you lose it?
I don't know.
Just one day it was gone.
Just one day. No, I don't know. I placed it down for a second. I'm not too sure what I did. I don't want to do something stupid.
Righto. So to receive money via Western Union, you need ID, right?
Yes.
You just use your passport. And who sent that to you?
A mate of mine.
The passenger may have had a serious run of bad luck, but experienced officers are beginning to suspect that his story may be well rehearsed.
The passenger's very compliant with us. He's answering all our questions, trying to be relaxed. Seems a little bit forced. He's very helpful in answering questions, and he seems to have a story all the time.
Officers know that over-compliance is a behaviour often exhibited by drug couriers, and as his suitcase is taken to be x-rayed, suspicions are growing that this man is hiding something. They just need to work out what it is.
I'm not really a big hand person.
You like your skirts?
Yeah, I've always been like a little girly girl. I wore skirts and dresses.
Nice shoes.
Thank you.
While searching the luggage of this American woman, Australian Border Force officers became concerned when they located a letter she was carrying. It describes in explicit detail a sexual encounter she will have with a man in Perth over the next 7 days.
We found this letter that indicates that there may be a little bit more to this than a general passenger on holidays.
Officers suspect the rendezvous described in the letter is a professional arrangement, and she may be getting paid for her services.
Did you engage in any of this last time?
Say that again?
Were you here for this reason last time as well?
Not for that specific reason, but I did see somebody 2 days when I was here, yeah.
You did? Okay. Let's go, please.
The woman has been escorted to a private interview room for further questioning. Border Force officers are trying to determine exactly what she is up to before deciding if she will be allowed to enter the country.
Have you ever been known by any other names?
Diamond.
I'd like to speak to you about this letter that was found in your baggage. So I'm going to ask you to read that letter now. Thank you.
Addressed Hello Slave, the letter goes into great detail of a mutually agreed encounter that she will have with a man named Michael. It involves what the woman refers to as a 50 Shades of Grey situation and details her willingness to be Michael's submissive for the next 7 days and is signed Master.
Okay.
So can you explain it?
There's not much to explain.
She has arrived on a tourist visa, and if she is getting paid for her services, it is a serious breach of her tourist visa conditions. But she is denying it.
Is there an agency involved or some that's, helping you to get in contact with?
This strictly was just a friend situation. Like, I met him through Peter. I haven't physically met him, but
You met Michael through
Peter.
The woman, named Sarita, insists it's all a bit of fun. But Border Force Officer Claire has discovered some information that suggests there may be a lot more to her story.
Okay, so Peter is her master in Australia. So she's a submissive. She's all over the submissive websites in America. She's got a boss in America, or a pimp, she calls him Bill Gates.
Yes, I saw that in the emails.
Now, he's organised for her to come to Australia to work with Peter. And Peter has, as it says here, Peter may have a client in Australia for you to work for next week. All right? I talked to Peter. He said to contact him as soon as possible. He said, don't worry about the money. We'll put it in your account and talk to him about making this so it's not going to affect my pay. All right? So she's been subcontracted by Peter through her boss, Bill Gates. Now, her submissive name is either Blue Diamond or Black Diamond.
Okay, she said she's got a nickname by Diamond.
She has a lot of promo photography in terms of her being Blue Diamond.
Her claim that she is just here for a holiday looks increasingly dubious.
So I'm assuming he found Michael. And has
He did.
organised that for
It
her.
sounds like it, but she's not admitting anything at this point.
No.
Now, convinced Sarita is not being completely honest, officers discuss what the next step should be.
So I asked her whether she's done any of the 50 Shades work in Australia, and last time, and she stated no.
Okay, she denied it.
Yeah, she's denied it, and I've asked her whether she's done any of this type of work before, previously in America, and she said no.
Okay.
So it's all denial. Do you think that I need to confront her with the evidence that Claire has?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so. We have found a number of text messages here. If one of those says, contact Peter first thing in the morning, he may have more clients that want to see you.
Officer Alicia will now confront the passenger with the evidence to see if she will admit what she is really doing in Australia.
Now's the time to just come clean about everything.
So at the moment you're unemployed?
No, not employed, just really low work.
This Australian resident claims he has been in Chile visiting his girlfriend and young son who live there. But officers are concerned there may be another reason for his trip to South America.
Spent one night in Chile on his way there. Spent 10 days in Bolivia to see his partner's mother who had a heart attack.
Yep.
He then returned to Chile for another 10 days and then came to Sydney.
Okay.
It's possible he may be concealing narcotics, and as his suitcase is x-rayed, Officer Matthew notices some organic matter on one side of the case that needs further investigation.
I think it's just wood. I think it's just like a panel of marble or something.
Unsure what is behind the lining, a swab is taken to check for any traces of narcotics. And as the case is returned to the bench, Officer Mitchell has a few more questions for the passenger.
Let's talk about travel a bit more and your partner. Can you sort of explain a bit further what you did while you were in Bolivia? And
I just mainly had sex with her and spent time with the kid.
You don't have any more mates in South America? Did you meet up with anyone?
Yeah, I've got friends there, yeah.
Did you meet with any of them?
I met with one person.
Okay. You didn't mention that before. Was that in Bolivia or was that in Chile?
In Chile, Santiago.
In Santiago.
I met him before in Buenos Aires, but he's from Santiago. Yeah.
Okay. He's a Chilean?
Chile, yeah.
Okay. All right. So when did you meet him? What day was that?
Probably about 3 or 4 days before I left to come home.
Now, you lost your wallet on the first day when you arrived in Chile. So you would have also cancelled your credit cards, right?
They're debit visas, so they're not credit cards.
Is there a record with the bank about you cancelling your cards?
I'm not sure.
Well, if you rang up and cancelled, then it would be, right?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, no problem. And you also mentioned that a friend of yours sent you some money.
Yes.
Okay, how much was that?
About $4,000 in my name, to Western Union in my name.
Do you have a receipt for that or any documentation?
No, I haven't.
You didn't bring it back?
No.
With his story looking increasingly shaky, the results of the swab taken from the lining of his suitcase raise suspicions even further.
Pretty strong reading for cocaine from the bag. I'm going to have to delve a lot deeper with this guy.
Sydney, Australian Border Force officers have discovered websites and text messages that indicate this American woman, Sarita, may be here for more than just a holiday.
So she's a submissive. She's all over the submissive websites in America. So she's been subcontracted by Peter through her boss, Bill Gates.
Suspecting she is coming here to work in breach of her tourist visa conditions, Officer Alicia confronts the passenger with the evidence.
Sarita, we have gone through your phone extensively. We've found quite a few messages, which indicate that you are working as a sub.
This time, not here.
But I asked you if you've done that kind of work overseas.
I don't know. Maybe, yeah, I guess. If it's a friend and somebody I'm involved with, I don't think it's work.
You don't think it's work?
No, if I'm just a friend and we're experimenting with things, it's not work.
Okay. Now's the time to just come clean about everything, okay? Because you're tired, otherwise this interview process will just be drawn out. So just come clean and be honest about everything, all right? Who's Bill Gates?
That's a friend.
And all these messages with Bill Gates is basically talking about working in Australia as a sub.
Okay.
And that Peter is your contact and he is your master in Australia. Is that all correct?
He's not my master. He really is a friend though. But some of that is correct, yes.
So what part of it is correct?
Peter's a friend. And I was coming to meet somebody, possibly. And I would get the details when I got here. That's why I don't know all the details of this. They don't give you any information. Except for like the things that, that was forwarded to me.
With this admission, it appears she may not be here as a genuine tourist.
I'll read it out to you, I'll issue it, and then you'll have 10 minutes to respond.
A notice of intention to consider cancelling her visa is issued, and Sarita is given 10 minutes to come up with a good reason as to why she should be allowed to enter Australia. A swab from the lining of this passenger's suitcase has just returned a strong positive result for an illegal substance.
Very strong reading for cocaine from the bag. We've x-rayed the bag already. There was minor anomalies, but we'll have to have a stronger look at the bag now.
1,000 Bolivianos, Chilean pesos.
The man is an Australian resident returning from 2 weeks in South America, and officers need to be sure he is not attempting to smuggle narcotics back in with him.
Did you take this bag with you, or did you buy it while you were overseas?
No, I took it with us.
You took it with you? Have you taken it on trips before, or is this the first time you've used it?
I've taken it before.
You've taken it before? Okay. And you bought it you're living in Sydney?
No, in Melbourne.
In Melbourne?
Yeah.
You bought it in Melbourne?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're just going to have a bit of a closer look at it. It'll just be 2 minutes, okay? Thanks, sir.
The bag is taken to a secure examination room, and immediately Officer Matthew notices something unusual.
It looks like it's been unscrewed. Do you know what I mean?
Well, they've rivet even rather than screws.
Yeah, we usually don't screw them in.
Believing the bag may have been tampered with, it will need to be inspected closely, while back at the bench, Officer Mitchell questions the man about the cocaine readings.
We speak to a lot of people who have returned from South America. So we get a lot of young people that go there and they use cocaine as well.
I have before used there, but on this occasion I did not use. I've even told officers there before that I have used.
Okay, so you have used it before in the past?
In the past, yeah. When I've been searched here, I've told the officers straight out.
Right. But on this occasion, you haven't used?
No, I did not use it.
Okay, all right, no problem.
He denies having any contact with drugs during his trip, but that doesn't explain the high cocaine readings or the anomalies with his bag. Following a thorough investigation, Australian Border Force officers in Sydney are now convinced that this woman is coming here to work illegally in the sex industry. She now has a final chance to convince Officer Alicia why her tourist visa should not be cancelled.
Sarita, do you have a response to that notice of intention to consider cancelling your visa?
I don't really think that it should. I would never come over here intentionally to do something wrong. This is a beautiful place. I just think I need to be more aware of what I'm being invited to.
Failing to dispute the claim that she is not here as a genuine tourist, a final decision is made and the passenger is informed.
Okay. So, Sarita, based upon the interview and all the evidence that we have found today, I've taken your response as well into serious consideration, and a decision has been made to cancel your visa.
Okay, I understand.
You are now refused immigration clearance, and you are now being detained and will be removed from Australia as an unlawful non-citizen.
Sarita may also face a 3-year exclusion period from returning to Australia.
This is crazy. I'm a good person. But that's probably how everybody feels, even the bad people. So I'm not really upset about it. Like, I still get to go home, my family, and I'll be okay. I'll survive. But this is a really beautiful place. I'm gonna be sad for a few years. I can't come here. So, yeah.
Sydney, Border Force officers are deconstructing a suitcase belonging to an Australian resident returning from South America, following strong readings from the lining for cocaine. He has denied using the drug while he was away, but officers have concerns that he may be attempting to smuggle the narcotic back in with him. But close inspection of the bag reveals there are no concealments inside.
Yeah, at the moment it's looking normal. Yeah.
The bag is returned to the passenger, but the investigation is far from over.
We took a swab of the bags and it came back positive for cocaine.
I don't know how it goes.
Okay, so usually that indicates to us that you've had some exposure to cocaine, right?
Maybe the room there, where it was, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, like, that wouldn't really explain it because, say, there's got to be some sort of touching, some sort of exposure. Just you being in a room.
Maybe my missus' brother, my uncles to my kid, he dabbles in now and then. That's the only way I can think of.
Maybe your uncles to your child.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of.
Maybe they would.
Maybe, because he does take now and then. And he did take some things out of my bag I gave to him. So it's the only thing I can think of.
Okay, so you think that maybe he's come into contact with cocaine
that's the only thing I can think of.
You might have touched something that's come into your bag and then contaminated the bag?
Yeah, it's the only way.
Confident there is nothing in the case, the man is free to repack his belongings. But officers need to be sure he is not concealing anything on his body. So, with his consent, a frisk search is conducted.
As the officer said, I'm not touching your skin or anything. Cheers, mate.
Officers are now satisfied he has nothing concealed on the outside of his body. But they want to check one more thing before allowing this man to leave the airport.
We're going to consider sending you for an internal body scan. Yeah, sure. Okay. We're just going to go over there now. We'll have a bit of a chat about it, and we'll take it from there. Alrighty.
He agrees to an internal body scan, which will detect if he has swallowed any drugs. But as they head to the room where it will be conducted, things take a dramatic turn.
The guys hesitated at the doorway to the body scan room. He said, I'm not having the body scan done. It's a way of pausing, buying himself some time. He just doesn't want the body scan done at the moment. I'd say he's got something inside him, probably cocaine.
George, Smugglers, what we're going to do is we're just going to go into an interview room. We're going to consider sending you for an internal body scan. Okay?
Following a thorough investigation and a strong positive reading for cocaine from his suitcase, Border Force officers have taken this Australian resident for an internal body scan. But as he reaches the door, he pulls his consent. And officers are increasingly confident it's because he has swallowed narcotics. The man is taken back to a private interview room where officers will explain his options. And they have noticed a significant change in his demeanour.
He's fairly dejected. He's trying to find ways to get out of it, kind of stalling tactics. He is quite nervous, he's sweating, and he doesn't want to talk to us anymore. I think now he kind of knows the game's up.
With the Australian Federal Police on standby, ready to escort him to hospital, the man finally agrees to go through with the scan. And when it's complete, officers' suspicions are confirmed.
That body scan image that we took shows the possibility of concealment. We're thinking liquid cocaine rather than solid pellets of cocaine, which are harder to pick up on the image, but there is definite anomalies in the image, which we think is positive.
The man will now be escorted to hospital by the Australian Federal Police, where a more in-depth scan will be carried out to confirm the results.